4Runner parts currently in the shop. Today is Friday. We have been very, very busy over here. I have a customer. His name is Luke. He has a 2003 Toyota 4Runner. I showed you guys the silver V8 4x4. So that is currently, as you can see based off the thumbnail, is no longer um, together. So as you can see behind me, we have that up in the air. I'm going to show you guys that in here just a second. Incredible. Probably the worst I've ever seen on any 4Runner that's come through here in the last 3 years. I'm going to take you guys around. So to the other side of the camera, this. So as you guys can see, we still got the motor in this thing. Everything is disconnected except for the exhaust. So we got the motor mounts, transmission mount, and basically all the lines up front, for the most part, are all ready to go, so that can be pulled. We are keeping all of the existing brake lines, as well as fuel lines, as well as fuel tank, fuel pump, and all of the lines that go to the gas pump fill for the evap canister. We're also keeping on here the new spare tire carrier. So as you guys can see, I'm going to take you now over to the rusted one. So once I get out of that sun, you guys can kind of see the rust on this thing is pretty incredible. So as you can see for this, it's pretty toast. Not the greatest. This rear axle is pretty toast as well. You can tell these brake lines have been replaced. So we are going to use the existing rear axle, which is also 3.73 gearing. We're not using his tank. We're not using his muffler. This is actually how the muffler was pointed in direction while this thing was running. And if you guys think this frame is bad, wait till you see under the body. It's pretty incredible that this thing even came out in one piece, to be honest. So I'm going to show you guys this next little section here. Wait for this rust, you guys. Stay tuned. Oh my goodness. Look at this. Oh gosh. There's literally foam has been sprayed inside and everywhere of this frame. Look at the trailing arm, completely disconnected on the lower arm. They literally had it welded with a piece of rebar. Comment below and tell me what you guys think about this. This is just absolutely ridiculous. All foam. That's literally all foam. There was another thing on here too that was pretty incredible. I think it's just one of the support parts. The back of this frame. Ugh. All foam. Literally, look at that. Where's that? Soft mallet. So I'm going to use the hard side of the soft mallet and just see how this reacts. I mean, it's rubber resistant. You can see it kind of bending. Bad on camera. If I use a metal one, it would probably be a lot worse. That side's just about to fall off. If it hasn't, looks like it might have already fallen off right there. Yeah, I mean, this thing was probably barely hanging on by really anything at all. Just incredible how much rust is on this thing. It's so infected. Another issue he had that he noticed that he didn't have before was his front diff. So that is completely shot out. The other ones don't have nearly as much play as that. But lucky for him, I have another one here. Hole in the frame there. So this is a rusted Toyota 4Runner frame. These things are pretty common for rusting out on usually the salt belt in the east coast, and sometimes they make their way to Arizona. And sometimes people buy vehicles at night while it's raining or just at night, and everything might look good and dandy on one side depending on where you look, and that would be what happened in this case. And so we have our donor frame. It's about ready to go. Just got to pull that motor. We do have some other parts that we got to swap over. This steering rack over here on the donor is no good. This is a 2003. Also works for 2004 all the way to 2009. This is a 2UZ V8 Toyota 4Runner, guys. So this is a 4-wheel drive frame that's bad. This is a 2-wheel drive frame that's good. Same frame, different cross member. So the cross member where I'm pointing here is more flat. The one over there is more kind of humped and rounded. So all we have to do is keep this cross member over here. If this one's completely rusted and no good, I have others available for use for him. So he's actually purchasing the frame. This is his vehicle. This is his job, guys. I'm here for support and guidance. 2021, very nice 5th gen. So 5th gen frames are on the V6. It's very similar in terms of a frame swap. I'm sure there's newer 5th gens out there that need frame swaps, but he is actually renting out my lift, and lucky for him, I'm local to where he lives. I only sell 4th gen part outs for anything V6 and V8. So I have running boards, drive shafts. I got 2 more frames over here that are for the V6 4.0. So this is his V8 engine. It's got 270,000 miles on it right now, he said. And he had a leak, which was coming from the input pump seal. And so he's on his way to Toyota right now to go pick up a new seal. Less than 20 bucks. We're going to pop that new seal in, put his torque converter in. If you guys have seen my video before on my Beast, on my V8, I recently did that when my transmission blew. So right now I'm standing underneath his truck. As you guys can see, there's quite a bit of rust in here. I'm going to turn this thing around so you guys can see some of this underbelly. I'm going to start from the back and kind of work my way forward. So it is pretty terrible on how much rust has penetrated into the body. So over here, where you can see like a broken mounting tab, this happens a lot with rusted frames. So I'm not sure if people are mounting something new in there, you know, like other people, or if they're using zip ties, or I'm not sure exactly what people are using, to be honest. But that is an area that's an issue. Those are the rear mounting bolts, which are no longer there. And that's for your evap canister, which sits right above your rear tire, your spare tire. In the first video that I did, which was like the preparation, there was a couple areas that I didn't cover. So I wanted to make sure that I kind of went over those with you guys before I got too far into talking about everything else that's been going on. We've been really busy helping him out here and just kind of getting this preparation done. This is day 2 of him being here at the shop, and we're hoping to get the body lowered today by end of the night. We'll kind of see how that goes. But as you guys can see, look at this fold. Let me get on the other side. Maybe you can actually see this a little better. Look at this. Some of you guys might think it's like super sketch that we're walking underneath it. We've kind of touched it, given it a little shake. It hasn't moved around, so we trust it. It's been there for overnight, but it is not too rusted on the inside, just the... So most of the support is there. It's kind of settled. But my God, is that crazy? Look at the freaking body mount bolt. Oh my goodness. Horrible. So this is all gonna get wire wheeled and cleaned up, is what he wants to do with it as well. He's gonna grab some rust preventative paint. Hopefully it'll save it. I think it will. We have high hopes over here. So when it came to getting everything disconnected on preparation, guys, there's nothing that needs touched in the harness that's coming out of the brake booster area. So all of those brake lines are the only things that need disconnected in the engine bay, as well as your heater core hoses that are directly next to it right here. So those 2 hoses, and then you have the steering shaft, which is just below, and then the 4 lines on there. You do have the harness that comes off of the fuse box. So there's like your ABS sensor wire. There's another wire up here, I believe that runs, I'm not sure exactly where, to be honest. And then you have like your ground and your positive. And so those all get disconnected, and then that just stays right here with your main harness. So that's all right here. That just stays all together on the engine. Nothing needs disconnected on the side. You have your passenger side, but literally the only thing you're disconnecting is 5 plugs on passenger side. So you got 5 plugs in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm sorry, 6 plugs. 6 plugs. And then this little notch is held on to the side of like your blower motor assembly. So that just gets popped down and broken off, and then you do these tension clips on the outer side. I usually use a pry bar, and then that harness comes out, lays on top of your engine. You have, I believe, a power steering line or power steering pump that you can take off and remove. Set that aside. That's going to allow the engine to come out a lot easier, so you can just leave the pump on the actual truck at the time being. And then the last thing I missed was under the seat. You do have that plug as well. It needs to come off so it can tuck down in the assembly and sit on top of the fuel pump. But other than that, I think that's basically everything that I missed. I think before I may have mentioned that like this line right here that along the top of the radiator may have needed like removed before. I'm just so used to doing that with my teardowns. I don't think it was actually, ever required. But that's just something that you learn as you do more and more frame swaps. So this is my second frame swap. It's a little bit different in terms of the process, just because I had the other frame completely stripped. This one is a little bit different just because there's not stuffing left on it. Or I'm sorry, this one there's stuff being left on it. The other one it was completely stripped. But yeah, the input seal should hopefully be back soon. We're gonna go through, clean up the rust, get the engine put back together, get the other engine pulled, swap the other one in, and get this thing buttoned up. It's currently like 11:30. He's been here since 7 o'clock this morning, and we still have another 7 hours of day to work on this. So lots of work to get done. His dad's here from Tucson helping him out. Little father-son action. So it's really cool to see them working together. And I'm helping them out. We're getting this thing stripped. Scrap guy will be here to pick up the rusted frame in a few hours. And we'll see you guys here in the next live, hopefully a little bit later this afternoon, with a little progress update on this V8 frame swap. Thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that like button. Appreciate you guys.